Welcome to Screw the Commute, the entrepreneurial podcast dedicated to getting you out of the car and into the money. With your host, lifelong entrepreneur and multimillionaire, Tom Antion.
Hey everybody, it's Tom here with episode 1018 of Screw the Commute podcast. I got such a good response from the 1017, just the other day's podcast about getting 656,000 views on a video, and I was talking about the mechanics of hooks. So now this episode is going to be all about hooks and with some really good resources for you so you can really study these and get way more views on your videos that leads to more money, more watch time, more advertising revenue, more sales of your products, and all that stuff. All right, so that's what today is, 1018. Anytime you want to get to a back episode like 1117, you go to screwthecommute.com/ and then the episode number 1017 was for that one. All right, pick up a copy of our automation ebook at screwthecommute.com/automate free. Version 3.0 is what you want to get now. If you've got it in the past, the new one is out. And check out my mentor program at greatinternetmarketingtraining.com and my school at imtcva.org. All right, let's do a discussion on hooks. Because you know, if you listen to the last episode, I'm a hooker. All right, so we're going to talk about three different types: visual, audio, and text. And text is broken up into two different ones. All right, so let's look at visual. And I'm going to give you links in the show notes to two really good resources. Now, the first one is, I think it's called transitionalhooks.com. Shows you tons of really outrageous ones that might be very difficult for you, but there's hundreds and hundreds of them. So I would just go through every page of them and see ones that you think you could pull off with your skill level. All right. But the reason you got to have visual hooks is because many people scroll without the audio on. And so you want to have a visual hook to grab them. Now, I've had success without a good visual hook because my face is not that good of a visual hook. I can assure you of that. All right, but you can have success if you do all the other hooks, and we call this hook stacking is what we're talking about. So you have several different ones going to grab different people and people that are scrolling with audio, people that aren't, and so forth. So the first one is visual, and I'm going to give you two links. One is a girl on TikTok that has a playlist of very simple visual hooks, as opposed to the transitional hook one.com that a lot of them are pretty crazy. Okay. So yeah, some of the ones you'd see on transitional is like, somebody jumping off a building. Okay. Now you can fake a lot of this stuff. We're taking a visual effects course too, video visual effects, where you can just simulate this stuff, but it takes more editing. There's one I saw where this guy was throwing water balloons at Mickey and Minnie Mouse, and so they drug him out of the car and beat him up. All right, so that's definitely a showstopper. One of the guys hitting a golf ball near trees and it bounces right back into the lens of the camera. That's quite a hook. But it can be simple as putting your camera into a bag and then opening the bag and the camera is shooting up through the bag, and that's your hook to grab them, and then you start talking about, hey, that's in the bag. Okay, so those are visual hooks. Make sure you check the show notes for the links to these two different places. All right, now the next thing is audio. So if they do have their audio on, or if you've hooked them enough visually where they want to play it with audio, you want to grab them with an audio hook. And I told you one that I use that's been extremely effective in all media is I couldn't stop the money coming in my checking account if I tried. Couldn't stop it. And then I go on. Now, if it's something sounds so outrageous, you can't use those all the time unless you really come through and show how that's not outrageous. See, because if it's so outrageous, the people just say, oh, they're a big BSer, and they won't watch your videos anymore. Okay. Now, I explained that more yesterday the other day on that 1017, on the 656,000 views we got. Okay, so that's one that I use, but I mean, you can, anything to grabs people. Guys, are you wearing Hanes pantyhose? All right. Here's a couple ones. Are you seriously okay with, and then you put in some topic that they shouldn't be okay with, and then you're going to explain how to fix it. Another one would be, not sure how to blank, you just, whatever it is, try this. These are all audio hooks. And also you can use sound effects like included in your hooks. Whoosh is one that's used quite frequently. It's like, you could be dropping into the video. It looks like you jumped in off a building and you just land, and that's whoosh. Yeah. So that's an audio sound effect. One of them I saw is so simple. You just knock on the camera. All right. Like you're knocking on a door. Hey, open up. That kind of thing. So those are audio hooks. Now with text hooks, there's text on screen, but there's text in your caption of the title of the video. And you can't really do a lot with that other than what it says. The example I gave the other day on that 1017 episode was that I put the same one that I said and the same one that was on the screen. So I hit people like 3 or 4 times with the same text. Now, when the text is on the screen, there's all kinds of cool stuff you can do with it. It can be just big and bold. It can be flashing. It can match what every word you say then appears. It can zoom in, hit you in the face. A reveal technique is kind of cool. It takes a little bit of editing, but where you might walk by a wall and the text appears right behind you as you pass it. Things like that. So if you combine those kinds of things, you're going to get way more views on your videos because, as I said the other day, nothing matters if you don't master this, because if they don't watch it or just scroll past it because you didn't hook them, then they're never going to see your content. See? So there you go. There's visual. I'm going to give you 2 links in the show notes that you must thoroughly review, and especially the girl. She's got 29 fairly simple hooks that you can do mostly yourself, easy to video, and you just have to learn a little bit of editing or turn the whole thing over to your editor and say, hey, make it look like this girl's, but with me in it, so that kind of thing. And then you got sound effects and text on screen, and you got text in your caption. So if you do that diligently, you're going to see an enormous rise in the number of people that watch your videos. Because when you hook them, they watch longer, and that tells TikTok or Instagram or wherever you're putting these things, Facebook story, it tells them that people like this, and so they show it to more people. See, so that's how you get more views, and that exposes you to more people that can buy your stuff. All right, that's direct from Tom Antion, the hooker. And I will catch you on the next episode. But please, if you want hands-on training with all this stuff from me and my staff, check out my mentor program, greatinternetmarketingtraining.com, and my school, the only licensed, dedicated internet and digital marketing school in the country, probably the world, certified to operate by Chev. Then you've got to save yourself hundreds of thousands of bucks by putting your kids through a 4-year college that just teaches them how to protest and to get a nice job at Starbucks. All right. Catch you on the next one.